Alright, what's up everyone? Noah Walker here. Back with my video series Accumulated Knowledge for Team Cardhoarder. And we are in a league with Grixis Delver. First match. We're on the draw and this is our 7. I think his hand is really good. It's probably fine to fire off the turn 1 probe therapy, and then with whatever spell we draw later we can just PZ flashback the therapy. So I think it's an easy keep. The Gurmag isn't going to get that great with this hand because, ooh, he's playing like what looks to be Storm. Yeah, the Gurmag isn't going to be that great in this hand because most of our lands are just lands and not, fetches. But Stifle, Trinket Mage, Enlightened Tutor. Huh. It's not what I was expecting. Alright. Let's see what we draw. A Wasteland. So Wasteland is pretty good. I don't really know what they would Enlighten Tutor for. But I guess I'm just going to Therapy and see what they do. Luckily, this hand is really good against Stifle. It's definitely possible for there to be a lot of hands in this deck that are really bad against Stifle. But it turns out we kept one that was insane against Stifle. So I'm not going to name the Stifles with the Therapy until we need to. But okay, I'm just going to name Trinket Mage. I think it's the most powerful card in his hand. Enlightened Tutor is also really good, but I feel like they're basically the same thing, but Trinket Mage is also a 2/2. Like, I'm trying to think of cards that he would probably Enlightened Tutor for that I can't, like that you couldn't Trinket Mage for. I guess if he wants to play Trinket Mage, then he has to sack the pedal next turn, and he gets to Enlightened Tutor and keep the pedal, so. Oh. I don't know why I didn't think of that card. So if we had Cabal Therapied the Stifles, then we wouldn't be dead to this Dreadnought. Huh. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that. I guess I just have never played against this deck, probably in all the matches I've played of Legacy, in a tournament like ever. But I think I'm just dead. Go to 6. Can't cast Gurmag. Yeah, we dead. I could wait. I have like one more draw step. But there's nothing really that I can draw. Like, if this turn we could play Gurmag, then I think we'd still be dead. 12/12 was just so huge. If he couldn't trample over True Name Nemesis, then we would be okay that game, but we dead. I guess I got punished for not taking the Stifles. I really wasn't thinking about Phyrexian Dreadnought. I was like, oh, like, Stifle's pretty bad against me right here. But of course, if he's playing like Stifle just seemed like a card that didn't really fit into his deck when I saw it at first, so it makes sense that he's playing Phyrexian Dreadnought. Because like trying to be Mana Denial plan with like tutors in your deck just doesn't really make sense, but setting up combo does. So okay, so I think Pyroblast is going to be really strong in this matchup, and I think Ancient Grudge also really strong. Engineered Explosives. Could bring in Fire Covenant, but taking 12 is a lot, so I don't really think I'm going to do that. I think Cabal Therapy is also pretty strong in this matchup. Seems like bolts are at their weakest. There's definitely stuff possible to hit, but I feel like I'd rather just have these types of answers. And I think I'm going to shave the TNN too. I think keeping Dismember is okay. There's some stuff that I can hit. It can shrink a Dreadnought and we can block If it comes to that, hopefully it doesn't. Strix is probably okay too. Taking a lot from a Dreadnought and trading for it just seems okay. Could shave Dazes. It seems like Daze is less good against their deck. But we are in the play, so maybe shaving Daze sucks. I guess you'd shave the Dismember and maybe Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is pretty good against Stifle if he's casting Stifle Knot. 3, 7 cards I want to bring in. Only 6 here. I guess I could shave a Gurmag. Gurmag's pretty bad against 1 mana 12/12s. But all this stuff seems really good against it. Don't really want the click. PZ still seems like the best creature to have because of therapy. Yeah, I like this. Okay, this hand's good. I'm not going to play turn 1 therapy because this hand doesn't really set up well for therapy being played turn 1. I'm just going to lead off with Delver because we have 2 Force of Wills, so I'm not particularly worried about anything that they could really do. So there's definitely an argument to get Volcanic Island instead of Underground Sea, just in case next turn we decide to Brainstorm and then we have a fetch land, because we want to be able to play therapy. And the other thing about this matchup is that Phyrexian Dreadnought as a card doesn't actually do anything. It's the support cards that we are worried about. So we can let the Dreadnought resolve and then counter the Stifle or what have you. Unless it's a Trick Bind. That would get us. Brainstorm, that's fine. Like, I guess there's a world where we Force of Will that Brainstorm and hope that our opponent just got super greedy and kept a bad hand, but I feel like that's not great. Sphere of Resistance is really annoying. I'm just going to force one. Really just want like a probe to be revealed. Okay, Delta's okay also. I kind of want a therapy, but I don't really know what I would name. Opponent's deck could have so many cards. I think I'm just going to Brainstorm. I hate brainstorming with so few cards in my hand, but I think it needs to be done. So I can put back 1 Force of Will. And I can probably put back the therapy too. Or I could put back... It doesn't seem like Deathrite Shaman's insane in this matchup. I could put back Deathrite therapy, flip the therapy to Delver, crack the Delta. I like that. Because now I can force Pitching Force, have the Ponder, if need be. I really want to find something like Pyroblast. Wonder what white card they're going to cast. Enlightened Tutor with 2 colorless Slitting. That's fine. I wonder why they're playing white in this deck. And actually, next turn I could even Sword of the Meek. Sphere of Resistance. That's fine. I almost like where we're at with me having Delver Force of Wills to just a Sphere of Resistance. Okay, so we know he's Sword of the Meek. All he has is one land, so he can't cast the sword. It doesn't do anything. I'm just gonna crack. Because if we get another blue card, that's good. Then we have double Force of Will. If we don't, that's also okay. Can just punch for 3 for now. So there's definitely an argument to cast Ponder here, because if they cast something that we need to Force of Will, then we can force it anyways just by playing the drop. So I think I'm gonna fire that off. Indeed. So the Pyroblast, a Daze, and a Cabal Therapy. All those cards seem pretty powerful. I'm gonna draw the Daze first and then the Pyroblast. And just pass. Seems like our opponent still can't cast anything, which is definitely good for us. And even once they can, Daze is really good against Sphere. One mana Lotus Petal, that's fine. And it's not the Sword of the Meek that we're worried about countering. We would just counter a Thopter Foundry. So Sword doesn't actually do anything in their hand. We could have Cabal Therapied that turn, naming like Stifle or something, but I think our hand is pretty well suited against most cards they could cast. Sword. Okay, Sword is fine. I kind of want to Cabal Therapy Thopter Foundry here, but we do have 3 counterspells up by casting nothing. But I'm trying to think like what cards. I'm just gonna attack. I'm just scared. Oh, actually, I guess I only have 2 counterspells up anyways. So like Therapy plus a counterspell is kind of the same thing. Okay, yeah, his hand was Thopter Foundry Stifle, so we hit the Foundry. So yeah, actually that ended up working out super well. We still have a Force of Will that we can cast. We have a Daze we can cast. The Daze is pretty dead, so we can just force pitching Daze. And then next turn we have Force and Pyroblast. So yeah, that worked out really well. I guess they were just an Esper Thopter Foundry Dreadnought deck. Seems pretty cool. I think we boarded pretty fine for what they were playing. Let's move back to the board and see if there's anything, you know, maybe we overlooked. Oh, Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle seems great from what we've seen now. Gurmag seemed okay. Didn't seem like we were missing out on anything by cutting it, though. Baleful Strix was looking a little worse, but I think I'll just shave it Daze. Daze didn't seem like it was really doing anything. Like, I think Strix is really great if they are just on, like, the Dreadnought plan, but obviously that's not, you know, their deck's not, like, all in Dreadnought, but you never know. Alright. Let's submit this. This hand is bad. If it had a colored source, it'd be really good. Just because Deathrite Shaman, Wasteland, you know, Force of Will, Pyro, PZ is really good. But I'm going to mulligan. This hand is pretty much the same hand, but I think I'm going to keep because it has Pithing Needle. It's kind of risky because we need a blue land, but if we get like a blue-red source anytime soon, then it's really good actually. So, all right, that's pretty lucky. This land's especially good because it can't be stifled. Like obviously, I maybe would have preferred land that we could cast Ancient Grudge with, but beggars can't be choosers at this point in the game. Ancient Tomb. Dreadnought. Stifle. Okay. Looks like we need a red land really badly. Probe you. Tezzeret, Deluge, Enlightened Tutor. That's a good hand. Still not a red land. Sadness. Well, this shuts off Tezzeret and Deluge for now. And so if we hit the land, we're in great shape this game. If we don't, then we actually just die. So maybe it was bad to use the Wasteland there. I could just play Pithing Needle, naming Tezzeret, and then pass. And then if we draw like a draw spell, we can cast it and then still cast the Ancient Grudge. I'm actually gonna feel super bad if that ends up costing me the game, but oh well. I'm just gonna pass. Six. Ooh, Deathrite. Yeah, we dead. Man, not having a land for this Ancient Grudge feels so bad. Like, if our draw wasn't so, like, bad, I feel like... I mean, the draw wasn't bad, it was just lacking. Like, having to maybe mulligan to 5 definitely sucks, but... Yeah, we dead. If we had the Deathrite last turn, we actually would have been fine. Would have had enough mana to cast the Grudge. But, oh well.